I'm Genevieve from TradeGecko. We build inventory and order management software for brand owners, wholesalers, and distributors. We help business owners save time on manual back-end operations, allowing them to focus on growing their business. Thanks for joining our webinar. In the first 45 minutes, our guest speaker will present his proven growth strategies, and we've saved the last 15 minutes to answer your questions. You can submit questions anytime through GoToWebinar, and we'll answer them at the end. Our guest speaker is Samuel Junghenn, entrepreneur and founder of ThinkBigOnline, an e-commerce marketing consultancy. Samuel has spent over $8 million on AdWords and $1 million on Facebook. With over 22,000 hours of experience marketing online, he knows which strategies will definitely help you grow your e-commerce business. Over to you, Samuel.
Fantastic. Thank you, Genevieve. Okay, so I'll just give you a quick overview of what we're going to be running through. You probably saw this on the registration page, and just in case you've forgotten, we're going to be running through what's working on Facebook for e-commerce right now. It's consistently changing. Smart retargeting strategies that will produce up to 14 times ROI, and maybe even more depending on what market you're in. How to build large email lists without spending a fortune. How to still get cheap clicks using Facebook. Facebook's become increasingly expensive over the years as more and more people start to advertise on the platform. How to increase your sales by using some of the things that you probably already have at your disposal. And how to increase conversion rate using just one simple ad that we use with Facebook. And then near the end, we'll be running through a case study of scaling up Facebook ads. While we're getting ready, if you could please be present. So if you're going to be here, then make use of this time and be here and focus on what we've got today so that you walk away with some tangible things that you can implement in your business. All right, so let's jump straight into it. We've all heard the F word before. Some people love it, some people hate it. Some people on the webinar may have spent money on Facebook already and lost money. Some people may have spent money and be making money and they're still advertising, and some people might not have tried it at all. I'm going to try to present in such a way that gives you insights and valuable information no matter which group you're in. Starting with this first screenshot, I want you to notice that about half of all the advertising here, these are all different ad groups, are paused. The reason they're paused is because the return on investment is not as good as the other half. And so if we look up the top, you can see this is actually a lead generation campaign for capturing email addresses. You can see up the top it says $3.20 per conversion, and then right down the bottom it says $30 per conversion, or $30.45 per conversion. This is obviously a 10 times difference in the effectiveness of the ads. And so what will happen is sometimes people advertise and they say, oh, it didn't work, because they're kind of looking at the whole overall picture of their average of $8.20 per conversion, when it's not a true reflection of what's actually been happening. So the first lesson, I guess, here is that you need to split out your targeting very differently. These are all different target demographics. So it may be women 20 to 30 years old. Then the next one may be men 20 to 30 years old. The next one might be women 30 to 40 years old, etc., etc., with different interests and different targeting layers. But the main, like I say, lesson to get from this is that you need to consistently test different demographics, different ads, and you will find out what's working. If you could break, I mean, we could probably pause a few of these up here as well, because if you look at from $3.20 to $5, $6, this targeting here is twice as effective as these ones here. So we could pause those, then we'd make our advertising much more effective once again. As I said, we've achieved up to 14 times return on investment with the businesses that we promote, and here's a couple of screenshots to prove that. And there's another one there of almost 10 times ROI. We have many more case studies like this, but just to let you know what is actually possible. What's working right now on Facebook is video ads. The reason that we use them and we like them is because typically they've got a lower cost per click. After people have watched the video, they're clicking on the website, and it generally tends to be a lot cheaper than running the page post ads. You get a lot more engagement with video. If you're a Facebook user, you would notice that you get drawn to all the videos as opposed to the image posts now. It started off way back in the day. It used to be just text posts, and you couldn't even do images or video. And then the image posts came in, and you'd notice that it got flooded with all the images, and you would click on those and engage with those more. But right now, where it's at, it's with video, and it's probably not going to change anytime soon. Because of all that extra engagement that you get from video, the sharing, the likes, the comments, you end up with a lot more free traffic from promoting video. There's 4 core types that we use, or there's really 3 types, but the 4th, I'll show you what that is as well. So if I just jump out and I'll show you some real life examples. So we've got here, this one is our review.
A little beauty hacks for you, and that is how I whiten my teeth from home. So that's
what we call a review type ad, and we've got someone presenting and talking about the product and walking through how it works, why it works, who it's for, who it's not for. But it's really engaging content, and it's not salesy at all. It's just giving good content out to Facebook users. And we get a lot of engagement and a great return on investment when we do great reviews. The second type there on the list, we just call it a product display ad, and I'm going to show you how to make one of these in a moment. And notice that we've used really long copy here. Some people say that long copy doesn't work. Absolutely it does, and you want to test long versus short copy. So you can see this is not the most attractive ad, but it is very eye-catching when you're scrolling through the news feed on Facebook. The pink stands out very well against the blue, and it's very eye-catching and gets a lot of clicks back to the website and a lot of sales. The third type was the viral video type, and so this one here, we actually borrowed someone else's content of this video. We saw this video going viral, so we took it and posted it on the page and then linked it back to our website with a related page on there. And using this particular video, we're now getting clicks on the website for about 6 cents, when some of the other page post ads can be costing $1, $2, $3 per click. Highly, highly engaging, and as you see here, there's 112 shares, 70 comments, and it's still, self-perpetuating now just because we promoted that a little bit. The last type is the carousel type, and what you can do is, you might have seen some of these here, some of these type of ads, but they're very engaging because you can click and you can go through the images. But what you can also do is you put a video in here that runs and engages the audience, and then they want to click through, they engage with the ad and they click through to the website. So those can be really compelling as well, and they can get you these 3 things as well, which is your lower cost per click, more engagement, and more free traffic. The biggest challenge, I guess, most people have with video is that they don't know how to make it. They think that it's hard to make video, and that's the biggest barrier to using it, and so they just kind of stick to the page post ads and the image carousel ads because they think they're easier. I'm just going to run through now. So there's a tool that you can use which is called gifmaker.me, and so what we do is you just go upload images, where did I have these? Let me see if I can do this a different way. I've just got some random images here which it's not going to let me do. So basically I'm just going to grab a couple random images that we have here. And just upload them. While I'm waiting for those to upload, I've just got a video here. We can grab the URL, and you can also stick it in this tool here. So I've just got some completely random images. You can obviously put them in whatever you would like, whatever you're promoting, if it's a product or a product line. Maybe you want to promote a category of products on your website. And then what you do is you go down to create video animation. We can view the video animation. And literally took less than 30 seconds to make a video that you can use with your Facebook ads, highly engaging, and you just download that video. And then you upload that to your Facebook fan page, and then you can promote it as an ad. So that's literally how easy it is to use video, to create an engaging video and promote it on the website. If you've got any questions about what I'm doing as we go through this, and remember you can pop them in the chat pad at any given time. Here's some results. So this is the video that I showed you before where we reposted that and we just linked it off to the website after it was finished, and you can see that we're getting clicks onto the website for 6 cents a click. Ridiculously low. And so that was giftmaker.me. When you're setting up your Facebook ads campaigns, you need to set it up in a structure. Like I mentioned before, you split it out and you test different demographics, and you test also different devices. So what you can see here on this mind map, if I start over here, we're targeting male business owners on a desktop, because all of these will behave very differently, and you'll get a completely different return on investment from all of the different audiences that you choose if you split it out correctly. What we typically find after managing literally thousands of campaigns for different businesses around the world is that 60 to 70% of the campaigns will not work very well. They will lose money, they won't break even, they won't be great. Doesn't mean that Facebook ads doesn't work. We see this across every ad platform. If it's Pinterest, if it's Instagram, if it's Google, if it's Bing, if it's LinkedIn, it doesn't matter. These laws apply universally. 60-70% really won't work. 20 to 30% will do okay. It'll do quite well, bring in good business, and you'll get a good return on investment. But it's the 5 to 10% that will do extremely well, that will produce ridiculous returns on investment, like you saw the 14 times, the 10 times before, and even more in some cases. It just depends on your market and what you're promoting. So then we have the female business owners on a desktop. Then we have male business owners on a mobile phone, female business owners on a mobile phone, and so on. Then you can see we're testing sidebar ads, and then we're testing a different interest. So we're testing business owners here, but then we're testing male interest 1, we've just called it, on a desktop, female interest 1 on a desktop, and so on as we go through. And this is not limited to just what we've got on the screen here. It's up to your imagination, but the point is you need to split out your ad groups into very specific target demographics, because what you might find is just because male business owner on desktop works, female may not work. Maybe because male business owner on a desktop works really well, male business owner on a mobile. So it's exactly the same target market. It's a male, it's a business owner. You might even overlay an age with that, but what you might find is that mobile just doesn't work against desktop. And then what you might find for female is that mobile works really well, but desktop doesn't work very well. For the same target market, different gender and a different device type. Inside your ad groups, you want to do the same thing, but you want to test with different ads. So we mentioned the video ads before. You might have 2 versions of your video ad. You might have a long version and a short version. You might have a viral video type, and you might have a product display type. You might use short copy, and you might use long copy. So you want to test all of these different variations within your ad groups, and you'll find that you get very different results. And that's when you can scale up and make money. And you're not guessing because it's all split out. What a lot of people tend to do, because it seems scary and sometimes it's a bit laborious setting up a lot of different ad groups with a lot of different ads, is people set up an ad in one campaign, one ad group, and they just let it run to all markets, all interests, genders, ages, and then it may not work. And they say Facebook ads doesn't work. Facebook ads works, it just may not have been set up correctly for you to figure out what is the magic formula. This is what a typical funnel looks like when people are promoting their e-commerce stores. Is they'll run a Facebook ad, they'll run a Facebook ad to a product page. The customer will add to cart, they'll check out, and they go to the thank you page. So what happens along here is that people click on the ad, they go to the product page, and then a big portion of them might go, no, that's not for me, and they'll click back to Facebook. Some of them go to the product page and they'll say, oh, that looks actually great, I want to purchase it. They add it to cart, and then they'll go, actually, you know what, I don't want to spend $50 today on this product, maybe I'll just leave it for another time, and they leave. Same thing, some people get to checkout, they will leave as well. So that's what a typical funnel looks like. And I'm going to run you through one of our funnels, our basic e-commerce funnels, in a moment. But first, I just wanted to touch on retargeting. And for those people that know what retargeting is, please bear with me for a second, because I just want to explain it so that everyone on the webinar does understand it fully and the power of it. So with our retargeting ads, or our remarketing, it's sometimes called, the person clicks on the website, then what we do is we track them. So we put a piece of code on the website from Facebook, and it tracks them, and it says that those people have clicked on the website. Then for those ones that leave without purchasing, we then can target them back with ads. A lot of people will just target them back with the same ad that they saw in the first place over to the left, which is not ideal. It's okay, you're bringing people back, but it's kind of like if you said, would you like to buy a hot dog, and they said no thanks, you're coming back to them and saying, would you like to buy a hot dog? So you're really just wasting your money there. What you're better to do is run a different ad to those people, and you then bring them back to your website with maybe a special offer. It might be free shipping for today only. It could be a 10%, 20% discount. It could be a $20 gift certificate, whatever the offer might be. But you want to give those people something different if they have not completed the purchase, because they've shown interest. And depending on your website, typically 97, 98% of people will leave without purchasing. So they've come to your website and they've shown a great deal of interest. Those people are red hot prospects to actually purchase something from you. So we want to give them as much love as possible in terms of presenting them with a new offer and coming at it at a different angle to get them to walk through the checkout process. So this is typically what one of our basic e-commerce funnels would look like in comparison to the standard e-commerce funnel that most people are running when they deal with Facebook ads. I know it can look a little bit scary the first time you see it, but just bear with me and I'm going to break it down and we'll run through it. So the first part is the retargeting. So what we do is the Facebook ad to the product page. We then build our retargeting audience, and then what we're doing is we're showing them a different ad that links straight back to the product page, or it might be a review page on your website. If you're selling a particular product, you might also want to run a blog on the website as well and have content on there which reviews the product, talks about the benefits, maybe the ingredients, who it works for, who it doesn't work for, and give them an open and honest review. So you could target the product page or back to the blog page with a different ad. For those people that have added to cart, we want to build a different retargeting audience, and because we know they're more qualified than the ones that have just viewed the product page. And we're going to run a different ad, so we just call this ad 3, and I'll show you what an example of what this ad could look like. And we send them back to the checkout. You also want to test sending them back to the cart and sending them back to the checkout. We've seen them behave very differently with these types of ads. Sometimes sending them back into the shopping cart works well, and sometimes sending them back to the checkout works well also. You also want to build a different retargeting audience for the people that have visited the checkout. These are your hottest prospects. They've seen your ad, they've seen the product page, maybe they've seen it a couple times, then they've added to cart, and they've come to the final step right before they need to give you money, but they haven't given you money for some reason. Maybe the website wasn't working, maybe it wasn't working on a mobile device, but it was working on desktop and you didn't know about it. Maybe their credit card was low on funds and they needed to top it up. Maybe the cat walked across the keyboard and they lost the website. There's a whole range of different reasons why people drop out at this point. And so, but they're your hottest prospects. They've literally said, I want to buy, I'm committed, but then something happened. I'll show you an example of that ad in a moment. What I'm showing you on this screen here is these ads here, what we call our ATC, our add to cart people, with our retargeting audience, and this particular ad. Here's some of the results from those ads. So you can see here that we have spent $208 and we've got about $2,500 back. Here we spent about another $200 and we've got about $1,850 back. So that's about a 12.5 times return on investment, and that's about a 9 times return on investment just by running this one ad. The ad looks like this, very straightforward. You may think it looks too simple to actually work, but this is the ad, or one of the ads that we test running to the people that have got to the checkout point or got to the add to cart page. And so we give them a free shipping coupon, bring them back to the website, and they check out, and it's done. And if you're wondering why it doesn't actually say what the coupon is on here, we've got set up what's called a coupon link. So we link to a special link that we've created. As soon as they click on that link, it automatically adds free shipping to their shopping cart and sends them into the checkout. These are by far, like if you were only to take one thing from the presentation and implement it, if you're already running Facebook ads and you're getting a result, if you just implemented this, your return on investment will go up significantly. Okay, so a different way of retargeting with your videos. So this is starting with the viral video example. So what we have up here is the viral video. We then link that, and it points to a blog page or a category page of like a product category page on the website. We then build a retargeting list for those people, and we then show them a review video like the girl that I showed you before that was reviewing the product about the teeth whitening. That video now links back to the product page. From the product page, I haven't got it shown here, but obviously from the product page we want them to go through the cart into the checkout, etc. If they haven't purchased, then we're retargeting them back with a special offer. And so what we might have is, this is product page for, say, our teeth whitening product, and then we might have another hidden page that's not visible on the website that has a special offer. So it might be get 20% off, or get an extra thing free if you purchase this today, which is not normally visible to the the standard retail viewer who goes on the website. It's only if they've visited the product page and they haven't purchased, we retarget them back with the retargeting ad. This can be, it doesn't have to be a video ad, it can be a page post ad like the one I showed you, sends them back to a special offer page. That also works very well. Okay, so the next part in scaling the business is email. What we see across all the e-commerce businesses that we help promote is that a significant amount, sometimes up to 80% of their sales, can come from their email list, depending what market they're in. But the thing that precedes that is you need to have the emails to market to. here's an example of one popover that we use, and this is on the checkout. So once again, this is to the highly qualified people that have added things to their cart. But then what we do is when they try to leave their shopping cart without completing their purchase, we show them this as an example. They get a $15 voucher if they put their name and email address right now. And then obviously if we capture their name and email address, we can now market to them, educate them on our products, and bring them back to the sale. And this also works very well. So we're targeting them from multiple angles. Here's another example of one that we use, which is very, very effective. Notice with both of these images, we're using what we call visual cues. This first one, you notice the guy's looking over in this direction. So that's not by accident. We did that on purpose because we want people to read this. And I don't know if you've seen when you go maybe to the shopping center, if there's a bunch of people and they're staring at something, what do? You go and you take a look and you see what they're all staring at. We use exactly the same methodology, and it's proven time and time again with our tests that when people are looking at something online, it will cause the viewer's eyes to go there, and you'll get more engagement with whatever it is that you want them to do or want them to read. With this one here, we're using a bit of a different approach. She's looking directly at you, and it captures your attention straight away. We've tested this image against a number of different ones, and this is the winner by far. So what we're talking about here is this section up here. So people have come to the product page, they're going through the cart, the checkout, and we have an exit pop. You can have it run site-wide. You could have one run site-wide, which is a generic type offer, and you can have a different type of offer, like it might be a coupon to use if they're in the cart or the checkout. And if they're on a general page of the website or the home page or the about or the blog, then you might give them a different type of offer. Then what we can do is we can follow up with a couple emails that get them to go through the checkout and end up in the thank you page. Your emails can be short and sweet. Say, hey, notice that you're interested in making a purchase on our website. Here's your voucher to use. You want to put an expiry date on your vouchers. You'll get a far higher uptake rate if you put an expiry date on your vouchers than if you just leave it open for them to use, because people forget, life gets in the way, they go get other vouchers for competitors' sites. There's a whole range of different reasons that they won't use it, but if you put a deadline and a nice short deadline where they think, okay, I need to check out in the next 24 hours, your uptake will be many times higher. Here's another example of an email popover, and we use this on a client's site where the traffic enters. So this is just a generic one when people enter the website. Be careful when using these. You always want to test and measure. On some sites, we found that it dropped the conversion rate on the website to sale, even though we were collecting more emails up front. And some websites, like this example, it actually increases sales significantly. So you always want to test and measure. So what we do is once a month, this client randomly plucks a name out of the email list that they're generating and gives them a $250 voucher that they can spend in store. You might think $250 is quite a lot, but if you're capturing thousands of names per month, it's nothing. And remember, we're not paying for these names. The people are already coming to the website, and we're capturing all these, building this list for free, basically. And they're getting a voucher to spend in store. So let's say you've only got 100% markup on what you're selling. That's only costing you $125 once a month to capture thousands of email addresses that you can then consistently market to. Okay, so some interesting statistics here for you about reviews. And the reason that I mention this is you want to be orchestrating as many reviews on your e-commerce sites as quickly as possible, because the more reviews you get up to a point, the higher the conversion rate on your website will be. 72% of consumers trust online reviews as much as a recommendation from someone that they know in the offline world. A whole bunch of consumers are going specifically to social networking sites to look at reviews. So when I'm talking about reviews, I'm talking about reviews on your website, on the product listings. That's your number one priority. Your number two priority is third-party sites. So if you're running a lot of Facebook ads, then I suggest you look at orchestrating reviews on Facebook to build trust with people that are coming from Facebook. They'll go back and they'll look at your page and they'll see, can they actually trust you, or is this a scam thing on Facebook? We've all seen those. And thirdly, you want to be orchestrating reviews on third-party websites, because what we've all done is you look at a product and you go, oh, that looks great, and go to Google and you'll search for XYZ product or XYZ brand and product review. Then you want to be appearing on other third-party sites. It could be Google reviews, it could be product review websites, it could be website review websites, but you want to start building up the reviews there as well, and it will help your conversion rate significantly. 90% of consumers say that the positive online reviews influence their buying decisions. There you go. It's another piece of research that was done to support what I'm saying here. Here's a really basic email that you could use if you'd like it. A copy of this, then I'm sure you'll be able to check in the webinar replay, or maybe shoot through an email, and we're happy to give you this. But basically all it says is, we appreciate, thank you again for your purchase. We appreciate that your time is valuable. So if you'd help out other people, right? This is really key. We didn't just write this randomly. This is written in a very specific way to get the most amount of people leaving a review, and we've tested this. People love to help other people. So by letting them know about your product or service, if it's good or bad, they love to help other people. People also love to give their opinion on things. They love to be heard and they love to be validated. So by asking them to leave a review, we're tapping into basic human psychology that motivates people. We'll send you a $10 review if you leave a video review. And then here we've got a link, and we just show them how you leave a video review. You can put the functionality on your website. It's very straightforward. They click a button, they record the video, and then it gets uploaded into your website, and you can approve it and push it live. Or you can leave a text review, and I'll send you $5. Obviously, your video reviews are much more valuable than your text reviews, and that's why we stagger it this way. We want more people to leave video reviews. Text reviews, everyone knows they can be manipulated and changed or written in a fake way. So they trust video reviews much more. You don't have to give away $5. You don't have to give away $10. You might give away a lot more. You might give away less. It's up to you. You've got to think about it as an investment in the ongoing building of the business. If we're getting video reviews that we can then put on YouTube, that we've now got more great content, it's only cost us $10 to put a review up, and that $10 voucher, obviously, once again, is to spend in store. So if your markup is 100%, it's costing you $5 in the end of the day. So don't be scared to give away things. Let me just see, was there anything else important here? Notice that I'm not asking for a positive review. We're not saying, give us a positive review and we'll pay you for your review. That's completely not what we're doing here. What we're asking them for is a review. If it's good, if it's bad, we do not care. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get more reviews. If they're bad, then that's a good thing, because it means there's room for improvement. So it might be that the shipping was really slow. okay, we know as a business owner now, we need to up our game with our shipping, and we need to do something here. It might be that the customer service was slack, or the customer service was rude. Okay, we need to speak to employees, or we need to work on how we interact with our customers. So the bad reviews will also balance out. There's other data that supports this that I don't have in these slides, that supports if all of your reviews are great reviews, people will not trust them. So you want to have some bad reviews in there. And so that's why we leave it open, and we're not trying to orchestrate positive reviews, we're trying to orchestrate reviews in general. Live chat is something that everyone should have on their e-commerce website. The biggest hurdles that we see to this when we mention that you should have live chat on your website are that they're scared that it's going to take too much of their time and too many resources to actually manage it. To give you a guide as a rough rule of thumb, I'm thinking about a particular website that we manage at the moment. It's got about 2,000 unique visitors per day. They probably get maybe 10 to 15 live chats a day maximum. It's nothing. So compared to the amount of sales that happen off the back end as a result of that, so that 10 to 15 people, that will come through live chat, they're asking about products. And so they'll say, I'm thinking about buying this product, but I don't know, I can't see anywhere on the website it says blah. That's feedback for you. You know that you need to put blah into that product page to fix it, to help the next person who has the same question. So there's instant feedback. Well, if I go in order of what I've got written here, it's getting people across the line, so it's helping them with the decision to buy. You will make more sales, absolutely. 2 is you'll improve the content, as I just mentioned. 3 is products that they want. So what you'll also find in live chat is people will say, oh, I see that you stock this, but do you also have this? Which is a perfect example for you to say, no, well, actually, I haven't heard about that other product. Maybe let's go look at stocking that, because I know that my target market who are sitting on my website are actually looking for this product. So you can expand your product line, not by guessing what people might want, but by actually getting feedback about what people want. The 4th thing is you get real-time alerts for problems on the website. So when particularly when you launch a new website, you always want to have live chat going, because you'll hear things like, hey, your website doesn't let me check out. I added it to cart and I've tried to check out 4 times and it's not working. To which then you need to ask, what device are they on? Maybe they're on a mobile, maybe they're on a tablet, maybe they're on desktop. You need to narrow it down and figure out where they're having problems, because just because the checkout's not working for one person, it doesn't mean that it's not working for everyone else, and vice versa. And you want to narrow it down to device type, so it might be an iPhone 6 that it's not working on that you find out. But this is really valuable information that you can then feed back to your web team and have them fix the website. They might have usability problems. They might say half the page is cut off. I'm on a Samsung Galaxy S4 or whatever it might be. The way, at a basic level, the way that you want to use your live chat is don't make it pop up for every single user. What we've found is it just really annoys people. Yes, you will get more engagement, but half of it is go away, leave me alone. What you want to do is use it in a smart way. So on the checkout page, what you can do is you can set a trigger that says if someone is sitting on the checkout page for more than 30 seconds, then have a pop-up. And so what we do is we have a pop-up for our clients that says, hi, just letting you know that I'm here if you have any problems with your order. And we'll quite often get people saying, hey, my free shipping coupon's not working, or I can't see where to use credit card, or I can't see where to use direct debit, or whatever it might be. So that's feedback for us to fix the page and improve the page to increase checkout, but it's also instantly we can answer it and get them through the checkout process. If they've spent a long time on the website, so let's say they've been on the website for 15 minutes, you might have a pop-up that says, "Hi, I noticed that you've been browsing through our site. Is there anything I can help you with?" They might have been browsing and then they might have walked away, or they might have gone to a different tab to research a competitor, whatever it might be. But just by having that pop up, it interrupts them and in a good way from a customer service perspective, and people appreciate it. They're like, okay, you really, you're interested in helping me. So it can be super powerful. You're not going to get bombarded with live chats, and it will absolutely improve your business. Live chat software is anywhere from free. I don't suggest you go with some of the free solutions because they're a bit clunky. They're not great. But typically for around $50 a month, you can get something that is really good, looks good, easy to manage. You can put it even on your phone so you can answer things on the run. You can also turn chats off, so you're not accepting chats during certain hours if you don't want to be answering chats after 9 o'clock at night or whatever time it might be. You just click the button and it turns off. A couple bits of software that I haven't specifically mentioned through here that will help you with some of these technology advancements, I guess, that I've been talking about. One is Connect.io for Facebook ads. It will help you to target your audience in different ways that your competitors are not targeting them. GIFMaker.me, I went through that one before, how to make your video ads quickly and easily. Opt-in Monster or Just Uno, software that you can use to run pop-ups on your site, and you can manage them to pop up at different times or on different pages. ActiveCampaign is an email management software. You can also use things like MailChimp or Aweber. We use ActiveCampaign because we find that the most reliable and good value for money as well. You need something to store all your emails. You don't want to store all your emails just in your website. If you're using something like BigCommerce, Shopify, any of these paid platforms on subscription, what can happen sometimes is you want to leave that platform, you haven't exported all your emails over time consistently, and you lose all that data. You can usually export your database, but you have no idea when they signed up to your email list, how long they've been, have they been engaging and clicking on the links in the emails that you've been sending out, and that's why you want a third-party piece of software. And live chat, we use Live Chat Inc. as probably our default one because it's the most user-friendly, it looks great, and it's got the functions to pop up when and where we want them to. And I'll just start going through a case study of scaling an e-commerce business over a couple months. This is with Facebook ads and doing some of the things that I've been through today. So as you can see down here, we've spent down in the bottom left-hand corner, we've spent $3,476.73 to get back about $3,300. Not a great investment. One thing that I didn't cover at the start of this training is that mindset when running paid advertising is your #1 tool. You need to have clear goals and you need to not waver from the formula when you're running your ads. At this point, we could have, this was a brand new e-commerce store that we launched in April, middle of April. We could have said at this point, Facebook is terrible, Facebook doesn't work, and we're going to leave it. But instead, we stuck to the plan and we followed that plan through. So you can see that our return on investment has gone from 0.95, so we spent $1 and we got 95 cents back, plus cost of goods, etc. Obviously, we're losing a lot of money. Next month, we spent $14,000, we got $19,700 back. So it's an ROI of 1.39 times. So for every $1 we spent, we got $1.39 back. Then in June, we spent about the same amount of money, but our ROI went up again, optimizing our ads and our targeting. What we're doing is we're killing off the audiences that are not giving us a return on investment. We're killing off the ads that are not working, that are not providing return on investment. Then July, I believe we had a challenge of not being able to keep up with orders because we were not only running Facebook ads, we're also running Google AdWords and Bing and some other traffic sources as well. And so we scaled things down while still optimizing, and so we got our return on investment to 2.19. Then we started to scale back up again in August. Return on investment increased to 2.32. And so you can see we've now gone from spending $1 and getting 95 cents back to spending $1 and getting $2.32 back. Whoops. Then in September, I believe this was, we got the ROI up to 2.48 times, and at this point we had to, I think it was even before this point, we had to set up TradeGecko with our website because we couldn't keep up with the inventory management, just keeping up on pen and paper and through the standard website functions that we had to manage stock. We needed to look at a bit more in-depth thing, and that's when we actually moved to TradeGecko for some of the e-commerce websites that we own to manage all of our inventory. And so you can see we've gone from completely losing money in a very short space of time, I think this is only over a 4.5 month period, to spending 26,000, bringing 66,000 in revenue. Okay, so it's Q&A time. So what we might do is, if Genevieve has some questions there, if anyone's been posting questions during this time, now we can go through and answer them. So if you've got any questions about the presentation at all, any of the sections, anything else related to scaling your e-commerce business, then feel free to drop them in the chat. And let's do this. So Genevieve, are you there? And do we have any questions in the chat tab yet?
Thanks, Samuel. Sorry about that. Yes, so I've got some questions here. The first one is, how much of my budget should I allocate for ads?
It depends on where you're at with your business and what your budget covers. I mean, if you've got a budget of, let's say, 50,000, you want to spread it across multiple areas, that is fine. The thing that I would keep in mind is that you need a minimum viable amount to put into advertising to commit, because as you've seen with the case studies that I've given, you can't just allocate, say, $1,000 and then walk away, and that, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. The value is not in the setup. The value is in the continual optimization of testing your different ads, testing your different target markets, and consistently improving that. So what I would say as a minimum is, if you're looking to invest in Facebook ads, I would look at a minimum of $1,000, $1,500 per month, minimum commitment 3 to 6 months.
Okay, thank you. And another question, what is an industry standard ROI?
There is no industry standard. So it's something that we get asked all the time, but it's not. We see exactly the same businesses selling pretty much exactly the same product. You can copy the same ads and they can still respond very differently. There's so many variables to it that there is no standard. There's no real standard benchmark to it. So I know it's not the best answer, but the question is perhaps not the right question to be asking. The best question might be, it's how much can you afford to spend to acquire a customer? So what you need to look at there is, what's your margin on your products, and focus on running your own race. So if, let's say, for easy example's sake, you've got 100% markup, so it costs you $50, you sell it for $100, we won't include tax just to keep it simple. You can spend $50 to acquire a customer. Yes, you may not make money on the front end. However, as I mentioned before, most e-commerce sales will come from email if you're doing email marketing properly. So what that means is if you can spend $50 to acquire a customer and it doesn't cost you anything, you've now got someone that's highly qualified. You know they've got a credit card and you know they've got money on it because they've already used it. You've already also got their phone number. You've got their address details. You can send them emails. You can hard mail. You can send them emails. You can send them text messages to get them to come back and purchase more. That's the way that you want to be thinking about, as opposed to looking at an industry benchmark, which has really no relevance to you because your business is unique and it's not really going to serve you in scaling your business up.
Okay, thank you. And then another question, as a percentage of sales, how much do other businesses spend on advertising?
The answer to that is exactly what I just answered for the previous question. I don't look at, I mean, we have data across so many people's businesses when helping them to grow, and it really comes down to the strategy that you're looking at for your business. So some of our clients want us to scale their business as fast as possible, bring in as many clients as possible so they can capture market share. So those people are happy to break even on the first sale or even lose money in some cases, depending on how cashed up they are. And other people that have more established businesses, they're more mature, they might have been around and already running for a number of years, they might want to just improve on what they've got in terms of profit, and so they might not want to make crazy sales numbers. They might not want to capture the market. They might already own the space for their market, and they just want to improve the profitability. So it's a different conversation.
Okay, thank you. Another one, how long should I run ads for before stopping the losing ones?
Great question. That comes down to the same thing, knowing your numbers. So let's say, for once again, we can afford to spend $50 to get a sale. That's what our profit margin is going to be. What you want to do is you want to spend 3 times that profit margin per ad set to figure out if it's a winner or a loser. The reason that you need to do that is, so just to get clear on it, it's $50 profit margin. We want to spend $150 to see if the ad is going to be likely to work or not. The reason is because if you spend $50 and then you say, okay, it didn't work, you do not know that the next click was not going to be a click that someone came and they actually purchased from you. So let's say you spent $50.50 to acquire a customer. Some people look at it in the short term and they say, well, that is outside of my budget. I wanted to spend 50, it's 50-50. What happens if the next click again, and this literally happens, we see it happen all the time. So now they've spent $51 and they've got 2 sales. So what's now happened is they've spent $25.50 to acquire a customer when they were happy to spend up to 50 cents to acquire a customer. So that's why we say you need to allow 3 times what your return on, what you're prepared to spend to acquire a customer per ad set to figure out if it's working or not. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yep, that's good. Thank you. So I think we don't have any more questions, so we might just wrap it up there. Thank you so much for your time, Samuel. That was really useful, and hopefully all the people listening in got something out of that as well.
Fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Okay, and we'll leave it there. Thank you, everyone who joined the webinar today. And this will be available. We'll circulate the link if you want to go and listen and watch it again.
All right. Thank you.